As you know, if you've been watching my YouTube channel for very long, we go on a lot of road trips in our Tesla Model Y here and in our Model S previously. Now, on our road trips, we are often listening to audiobooks, but occasionally we want to be able to watch a show of some sort, whether it be a YouTube video or something on my Plex server or whatever. And so sometimes what I've done is suction cupped a laptop to the ceiling of our Model Y, and that actually works okay. But Hansshow reached out to me and said, hey, we have this rear entertainment display that we'd like to share with you, and you can install in your Model Y and evaluate how well it works for you. So Hansshow sponsored this video today where I'm going to be unboxing and installing this multifunction rear display and sharing with you all how well it goes. This is their 8.66-inch rear display, and this has Android Auto and a bunch of other things which we'll get into in a second. And you don't lose the rear vents here because it passes on the same air through this area. And then also it has the same two USB ports that are right here. So you don't lose any functionality, but you gain a screen. And this screen can be used to control the vehicle. So it can be used to move this seat forward and backward, for instance, and heated seating and things like that. So let's get into the features after I've got it installed. So first I'm going to unbox it. All right, so on the inside, it comes with a warranty card that's pretty standard and some foam on top. Here's the main event. So I'm gonna pull this out of the box. So first off, we have the orange pry tool, which if you've watched my video about their 9-inch binnacle display with the display behind the steering wheel, I'll link that in the description below and in a card above, but it came with one of these as well. It has this, which is a USB-C to USB-A adapter. That is something I did not anticipate, but that's cool that they include that. And then they have this, which is the main wiring harness, which we'll get into in a second. And then they have another one, so this is going to be used somewhere, which I'll find out in just a second when I install it. And last but not least is this, and this is a cap that you use to cap one of the existing connectors that is already in this back center console area. So that's everything that came in the bag, and there you go. That is a good size. And then here on the back, you can see this is where it's going to connect into the air channel and push the existing HVAC air throughout out the front. And then here's the wire to connect to it to pass on the USB connection. So yeah, let's get this installed and see how well it works. Now in the instructions, I'm watching a video from Hansshow. They said to pull out on this end cap right here. So this is my first time doing this, so this is how hard it is to do first time, so that's not too bad. And then pull this out. And you can see right here is where the existing connection point is for the rear USB ports here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up on this clasp and then wiggle that out. There we go. Now this is no longer needed, but I'm going to keep this around just in case I ever wanted to restore the vehicle to how it was. And then this cord right here is what this was for. So I'm just going to pop that on, and this is no longer needed. Now, as a pro tip, I read somewhere online that it's a good idea to wrap this with something soft so it doesn't rattle around in there. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and utilize this foam wrapper that the screen came in. I'm going to wrap this just a little bit with that bag and then shove this down here underneath this main channel right here, because you don't want to block the airflow for the HVAC system. So shoving that right there will keep that from rattling around perfectly. The next thing to do is pull off this piece right here, so that with the pry tool that they supplied, you can put it down here underneath and then pop off the flange, pop off this piece of plastic. There we go. All right, so this wiring harness right here is what we're going to be tapping into. To get this apart, you pull this red tab out, and then you press in on this blue piece right here, right next to that, and then you can pull to the side, and that's how that comes out. And then this is the wiring harness, and so you just basically insert this in line. So this one just goes in right here, just like that. We pop that back in, and then this one goes right here. Perfect. So now I'll flatten this down, and when I put the cover back on, it's going to be something like this, just kind of shoved out of the way. And then the next thing to do is undo these two screws right here. Now this is a T20 screw, so keep that in mind. If you don't have a T20, you will need to acquire that before taking on this project. And now that I've done that, you just lift up on this. There we go, it pops out. And of course, I was a little bit too early on packing that. We'll do that when we put this back together. So we'll just leave that hanging for now. On this plate, you can see this is what the clips look like. There's 3 along the side of each side, and they're at an angle. So that's why you lift up, and that's going to be at the right angle. Just pull them straight out. The next step I'm working on here is the wiring for this front passenger seat. And so you can see I already kind of have pulled out some of the wires here. And then with this plastic, there is a little bit of a catch. You'll see right there, there's a catch. And then there's another one down below. It's just pulling out on it, popped it out. So it just gives a little bit of room here to work with. And then this is the wire that was plugged into the controller right there. So then the wire that Hansshow sent is wired so that it can be inserted in series. So I've connected that together, and now I just have to plug this in to that controller, and then that's all I need to do at this end. Now back over here at this end, you can see that there's a little white connector here, and then there's also a black one right there next to it. That one has, looks like 4 wires in it, but it has spots for 6 wires. And then this one is a bunch more. And where those go, it appears, is right here. So that's where the white one goes. And then this black lead right here goes to that one right there. So you really can't plug them into the wrong ones because they don't fit otherwise. So I've plugged in the white one here, and I'm going to plug in this small black one. And I believe that's where the screen will now power up. Yep, indeed it is. Got the Android icon there. Then we have the Hansshow logo that comes up. And there we have it. I can press the power button, and I can hear that the AC just turned off. Then I can turn it back on, etc. So I'll get into this in a little bit when I figure out how it all works. But for now, I'm going to finish putting all of this back together. Actually, something that I should test before I put everything back together is to make sure that the passenger seat motor controller is connected properly. So to do that, I'm going to come in here and tap on this seat icon, and here it shows me that I can move the seat forward and backward. Oh, sure enough, yeah, that's working. Perfect. Seems to be pretty responsive. Oh, and it can tilt it too. That'll be convenient to have here in the back when we're doing camp mode, to be able to just quickly, while I'm on this side, adjust the seat forward or backward to get it out of the way. I wish I had a controller for both, but you can see the arrows are not on the driver's side, only the passenger side, because that's where we wired it up. And then also in here we have the heated seat controller where we can turn on the heated seats. But we'll get into that in a minute when I get all this put back together. So now I just have to put the display back on. You can see there's a clamp hole right here and here, or a clip, and that will go to right here, and then there's another right here. Make sure that those are going in the right spots. I was struggling there to get that on for a bit, and then I realized that right here where the clips are supposed to go, this new display has these metal pieces, and these metal pieces got left behind in the old cover. So this is what was there before, and you can see those metal pieces are missing. So don't make my mistake. If these came off, that's fine. You can take them out of these slots and then put them back up here on this device right here where they belong. But if you leave those metal pieces in there like this one is, then it's too small of an opening and it can't clip in. So make sure to take those metal pieces out if they stayed behind like mine did. And now that I have those clips out of the way, I can now slip this on, and it should go much more easily. Yep, that was the problem. All right, that looks pretty good. It's all lined up. Push down, and I can open this up. The clearance there is just fine. And then here on the front, I can now adjust this air direction to the sides. And then if I wanted to slow down the fan speed, I can come in here and do that here. And now keep in mind, this does control the entire vehicle. So if your kids are messing around with this, you may have to restrict their usage. You see that there is a child lock option right here. And so you can just say child lock, and now it says child lock has been opened. And now anything you do in here, it won't work. So they are locked out. And then if you tap on child lock again, the code is 8687. And why that is the code, I don't know, but that's just what it is by default. And then of course, now here in the back, we can mess around with the fan speed again, or the temperature, etc. But before I get into the software, I still need to put all the rest of this back together down here. I got this plate back on, and it was a little bit tricky, but you have to do it before you put the screen on. So just keep that in mind. Not a big deal. If you do the screen first, it's easy to pop off, and then put this bottom plate back on, and then put the screws back in. And then the last thing is to put on this cover plate right here. You can see there's a notch right here, and that corresponds with this right here. So put it in like that. Now this is going to have some extra bulk there that we have to kind of shove to the side while we put this in place. Now because of the way that I chose to run the wire, you can see it's still visible right here. I don't really mind though, because I actually have this storage compartment that I put right here, and that's actually going to cover up the wire just fine for me. And then it passes around right here to the side, and then it goes underneath this Velcro cover, which is a vent cover right here. And I put this on in a previous video, I can link in a card above. So it goes around the corner underneath that, and then it goes through the carpet gap right here, and then up into this chair. So this was an easier way to run it, but it was just barely long enough to be able to do this route. So keep that in mind. But with this compartment covering it, it's all completely clean. Kids aren't going to pull on any of the wires, so we should be good. So now the screen is completely installed and everything is put back together, and we can get into the software now. Now, something worth noting is that the second harness that it came with was never needed. The instructions never really mentioned 2 harnesses, and everything is working fine with just the 1 harness. So I don't know why this was included, except that maybe it was needed for a different model of vehicle. So now that I've finished putting it together, let's get into some of the features of the display. As you can see, if the display hasn't been touched in a little bit, then this is what it shows: the time, the date, and then if you tap it, it comes into the HVAC controls. And so this is the home screen, so this is kind of what its default is. And then of course the kids can adjust the HVAC here. Obviously the direction controls are just right here, and that's manual. And this is kind of nice because a lot of times the kid that sits in the middle is too cold, so if you can divert it to the sides, it helps to spread out the air. At least that's what we've found. And then if you have the reset button right here, that's actually not a button, it's just a little hole there you have to push in a paper clip, and you can reset it. And then you have the 2 USB-C ports here on either side. And then actually I'm going to peel off the screen cover now that we've finished installing it. That's the cleanest this thing will ever be. Alright, so now along the bottom here you have the HVAC control. This right here is the heated seats button, and then you have the seat control here. And then it has this seat vibrator feature, and I'm honestly not familiar with that, but you can see it has 2 levels. That's on the driver's seat. So if I put my hand over here, I don't feel anything. So I don't know if that requires certain hardware, but I don't seem to have that. Here we have the music controls, and then we have the entertainment center, and then here is the media. So I guess this is apps actually, and then this would be the media, and then this last one is the configure button, the gear icon, right? Now up here it says left rudder. I'm not sure why it says rudder. Maybe they repurposed this from boats, but I think what that's referring to is the driver, if the left or right hand drive. But yeah, I don't know why it says rudder. Fahrenheit versus Celsius, and then 12 hours versus 24 hours, and then time zone setting. Now this is odd because you can see it says West 6th District. If we come in here, you can see that it's saying West or East Districts. I'm personally not familiar with this method of referring to time zones as districts, but we are here in Utah, and I think that that's the 6th district, I would just guess, because we're normally -6, and so I don't know if negative is west or east. So that being said, it's 12:24, and if I look at my time on my phone, it is 4:58, so that is wrong. So let's try going to the East District, and well, the time hasn't changed. I guess maybe it has to reboot or something. I don't know, I'll mess with that later, but just know that that's how it is set up. So I'm going to hit the back button here and check out some of these apps. So you've got YouTube, Netflix, local video, TikTok. Local video, I don't know what that means. Oh, right. Okay, so that would be you have to plug in. Oh, it's got some content already on here. So that's interesting. It comes with some preloaded video here. So then I'm going to hit the back button. So I'm going to go in here to YouTube and check that out, since that's something that we do. And so right, it doesn't have its own internet connection. So you have to connect to Wi-Fi or connect to your cell phone hotspot or a hotspot type device and that sort of thing. To connect it to Wi-Fi, you can see up here on the top right corner, it shows a Bluetooth icon and a Wi-Fi icon there. If you swipe down on the screen, this is where you can enable Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. And so right now Wi-Fi is enabled. So then you go into car settings, and then right there it says network WLAN, so wireless LAN. So you tap that, and then it'll show you your available wireless networks. Alright, I've now connected it to my Wi-Fi network. So now let's go back, I guess, home, and then YouTube, and let's see what that shows us. Oh, it wants us to search first. Electric Tech Adventures, there we go. And there we go. Yeah, that's our channel. That's awesome. Let's go in here to our the Dust Bowl YouTube video. So this was when we went to Moab, and we saw lots of awesome things in our RV and truck. And then this was our last stop. This video was about our experience at Goblin Valley. So that was tons of fun. And note that here the master volume is maxed out, and I guess just to make sure there's no limiting factors here, I'm going to max out all of the volumes, so they're all totally maxed out. And so, oh, let's look at that picture-in-picture. So it dropped the YouTube app down here. So I'm going to pull that back up. There we go. Cool. So is this loud enough for the kids to hear while we're driving down the road? I would argue it's not very loud. It could be louder, especially if it was on the car stereo system. But something I found with the car stereo is that if you have the laptop, if you're using a laptop and it's connected to the vehicle via Bluetooth, there's always a delay with the sound. So they see it, and then there's a delay on the Bluetooth audio. So this is synced up perfectly, but it's not terribly loud. Hey kids, I have a surprise for you. What do you think? Come over here, James.
James. I'm sitting in the middle.
You're just jumping right into the settings, huh? You don't even know what you're doing.
I don't.
You can now control your own temperature back here. Well, you can adjust the temperature of the whole car.
Oh, and we can play our own songs.
So you can tell it to go to the next song, or you can change the volume.
We can't play them?
Well, what do you mean play them?
Like, play this song.
No.
No.
It has limited controls being able to control the car. You'd have to log into it in order for it to work.
Stop! Wait, but you don't have to pay any money?
Are you excited?
Yes!
And then also look at this. You can go into the heating button and you can change the heating on your seats. So you can turn on the heated seats.
And I could heat you and Mom's seats.
Right, but if you mess around with our stuff too much, then we'll ban you from it. It has a child lock feature too.
Oh, we can watch movies!
We definitely could put local media on here and we could watch movies on this. We have now had this screen installed for several weeks, maybe even approaching a month. And we've gone on 2 different road trips in the car. One of them to Missouri from Utah, so about 2,200 miles round trip, and then another one to southern Utah and back. So we've had lots of opportunities to experiment and to use the screen, and I wanted to share my final conclusions, and I wanted to get the opinions of my kids here in the back because they're the ones that primarily use it. What do you think of this screen?
I love it. I love it. I stupendous it.
What do you like most about it?
The games. The games and the movies. And the movie. Because there's only one movie.
Now, one of the issues with the movies is that you can't really see it very good from the back row, right?
Or hear it.
Do you girls change your heated seats much? I mean, it's been summertime, so you don't really need to use that right now. But in the future, you'll be able to do that more. Okay. Any other thoughts? Anything you'd want to share with everybody about what you thought of this screen?
I wish it had more games. Like beach buggy racing.
Yeah,
and I wish
that
the
would be
sound
fun.
could be better. And you could see better in the back.
Right. Yeah, those are all things that I would agree with. The sound is better when it's over the car stereo, which took me a while to figure out how to do. And then that sound is out of sync by a second, so that's unfortunate. Anything else you would want to add?
No.
Okay. Thanks for sharing your opinion. I've sent the kids inside, and now I'm going to share some of my final impressions and thoughts about this screen. Before I do that, I'm going to go over the screen with now more experience, and I'm going to just give you some feedback on what I see on the screen interface and its functionality. So this right here is the main first screen, and it's this button right here, so it's just kind of like the home, but these are all somewhat on equal level of as far as navigation is concerned. So this right here is a feature for the air quality. It's supposed to be doing some ionization, I guess. I can't really tell if it's doing anything, and right now it's just kind of blinking on and then turning back off. I don't really know why. Keep and dog mode and camp mode that's just from the regular HVAC system of the car, and it just toggles those on and off, which is fine. I don't really use that though because I'm in the front of the car usually, but if I was here in the back I could turn on camp mode, and that's nice. Child lock, the kids often will touch that on accident and then they can't continue using the screen, and then I have to reach around behind to unlock it, and I don't want them to know the code because there might be some legitimate times that I want it to be locked, so I have them not look. That's not ideal, and I haven't found a way to customize the child lock. Like, what if they find out the code and then I need to change it? I haven't figured out if I can. Otherwise, having child lock is nice at times when you don't want them touching it, but it means that they can't use anything on the screen. And what I would prefer is to be able to customize the interface and have a child interface where it only shows what I want them to utilize. And then also over here, this is the temperature, and you can see that because right here it has the little temperature icon. But right now it doesn't show anything, and so if they want to adjust it, they have to basically just start to drag, and you can see that slider moving around, but there's no indication of what you're doing as you move this slider. And so half the time the kids just move it randomly, and then all of a sudden the heater comes on and it's the middle of the summer and it's not comfortable, right? So we just don't want them messing with that at all. Oh, now that you let go, it shows you the temperature, but then it goes away after a little bit like that. So not really helpful. It needs to have like a plus minus button where they can just adjust it a little bit. And then over here, this is the fan speed indicator, and it's the same interface where you drag it, it shows you the number per minute, and then it just goes away. So right here I can let go, and now it's 5. Well, I don't know what it just was. I can feel the fan speed just sped up a little bit, so it must have been a little bit lower. But now it's set the HVAC system to manual, and it's setting the fan speed to manual, and then that went away. So there's no indication of what it is just by looking at it. It's just a way to adjust the fan speed or the set temperature, and the interface for both is not great. Now let's move on to this other button. I really like this for the kids to be able to adjust their own heated seats. You can just tap that, and you can, that works pretty similarly to the native Tesla interface. And so the kids like that. I don't like that they can adjust the front though, because the front seats are in front of this screen, and we use our own adjustments up here on that screen, of course. So we don't really need to be able to use it back here. This screen right here is pretty much just for adjusting this front passenger seat, which you can see I have it all the way forward right there. But it also has these 2 indications right here. They look kind of like a radar, concentric circles. And that does not do anything in this car. I'm not really sure why, but when I asked support about it, they said, well, it relies on the lumbar support hardware being in the seat. Well, that has not always been in this passenger seat. The driver's seat, I believe, has always had lumbar support, but when I turn it on this car, nothing happens. I've sat in the seat, nothing happens. And it's kind of awkward if it did work, because I'd have to reach around behind and toggle it here in order to experience it while I'm sitting here, and that's not great. So, and what is that even doing? It's using lumbar support, and I would guess it's maybe putting air in and out of it quickly to vibrate or something. I don't know, but that doesn't work for me. Then you have the music controls, and so this, they can skip to the next song. That's fine. What they would really love to have back here is the button press of this scroll wheel right here, because they often are asking for us to play a specific song, and they would love to be able to just push the microphone button back here and search for the song that they want to listen to. But it doesn't have that. It just has forward, next, pause, start, and then the volume, and then sometimes they're turning up the volume louder than we want them to. So having the kids have too much control can be a problem. If you have adults back here, that's different, but this still affects the whole car. So everyone has to be in agreement on what they want that way. So then we have the apps screen, and let me come back to that in just a second, because there's a rabbit hole of information here. This right here is their media screen, and so they've basically hard-coded this to show these specific apps: YouTube, Netflix, local video, and TikTok. Well, we use Netflix occasionally, we use YouTube fairly regularly, TikTok we don't use at all, and then local video actually is just referring to files that are stored directly on this screen. And so to that point, you can see I've loaded Wreck-It Ralph on here, and it constantly will default to this full screen mode where it's stretched, so you have to press this button right here, and that will make it now the correct aspect ratio for this screen. So to get the movies on here, I found I had to encode them as MP4 files. They could not be MKV. And then I had to plug it into a USB drive that is right here. You see this left USB-C port. So it has to be a USB drive that supports USB-C. Plug it into this left side, not the right side. And then it will show up on here. When you go to USB, it will show the files that are on that drive. And then you can transfer them. And you have to copy them and then go to local and then paste them here. So that's an interesting process. It's not something that is super easy. I mean, it's not hard, but once you do get it already here, then it does not require any Wi-Fi connection because it's stored locally. And this thing does have 64 gigabytes of local storage. However, unfortunately, 25% of that storage is taken up by the operating system without me having put anything on here. So keep that in mind. So right now I've got one movie on here, Wreck-It Ralph, and that's just kind of my test case that I had done. Now that brings me to the playback of this screen, which is that it doesn't have good visibility. Let me get in the third row and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm now here in the back of the car, and you can see folded down this center seat here, and this seat here is still forward. I could pull that back, but it doesn't really matter for what I'm talking about. So if we have a kid sitting right here, and then we fold this down so that the kids in the back can see, then of course they need to be leaning to the side. Here, I'll kind of show you what I look like back here. I'm kind of cramped in here. But the kids, their heads would be about down to about right here. So if they are watching the movie, you can see it's kind of half cut off for them. So then they have to get up high, and they're constantly craning their necks trying to see the screen from back here. And then if you scoot this, right now, this seat has very little leg room. So if you scoot this forward so that the kids here on this side have more leg room, then it makes this even farther forward. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. There. So now we have an okay amount of leg room back here, and yet now the screen is clearly like halfway covered. So that screen is just simply too low in order to be able to be seen from the third row. If you were to tilt this metal thing up, then they wouldn't be able to see at all, but then it wouldn't be blocking. It's just, there's things in the way. So what we've done in the past is we've used suction cups to hang a tablet from the ceiling, and we will continue to do that because that works really well. And it's, our tablet is a 15-inch tablet, whereas the screen is 8.6 inches, if I remember right. And both of them have the same 1 second time delay when you connect it to the Bluetooth of the car. So I'm going to scroll down here on the top, or just kind of slide down from the top there, and you can see it has various settings along here. Now, Bluetooth is the one that I was interested in, and if you just tap that, it just toggles it on or off. So you have to go into car settings, and then here it has Bluetooth on the side, and you can tap Bluetooth, and then it goes into your Bluetooth settings. And here it has various Bluetooth devices in the area, and you can see I have it paired with the Model Y. But this is where I really had a hard time with this thing, with getting it paired. When I messaged the support people at the company, they said that this needs to be called BT-transmitter. I don't know why it needs to be that name specifically, but that's what they said. And then they said to toggle that off first, which is odd. Then you can go up here to the Bluetooth icon, and then you can have all of the various Bluetooth devices you already have connected. And then down here it says Bluetooth transmitter. So that's that rear screen. And then you can pair it here, and it will only pair if you have it off here. So weird. But once it's been paired, then you turn it back on here, and then you come back up here, and then you tap this connect right there, and then it does connect successfully to that rear screen Bluetooth. And then the sound from this screen will play on the whole car stereo with a 1 second delay or thereabouts. The speaker that is built onto the screen is down here on the bottom, and it is way too quiet to just use that by itself, especially when you're driving down the road and there's wind noise and road noise. Now in this setup area, it has a bunch of other things, like you can set up the Wi-Fi here, for instance. You can go into the audio, and it has the audio control for various things. Master volume is all that I use for this screen. And then what's odd to me is that you have all of these settings here, and then down here in the bottom right corner is the gear icon that I already went over previously. How is that different than the setup area here? Why are there settings in two different places is my point. You can use the Android Play Store to install additional apps on this screen, and that's what gives it now immensely more functionality depending on the app you install and what you're interested in, and if there's an app for that. So these right here are the apps that came with this device. I'm going to skip over all of these front screen things. Oh, and by the way, it does have Android Auto, and you can use that to connect to your phone and then use Android Auto, which is pretty generic and available with lots of different devices out there. But this is where I got excited when I realized it had the Android Play Store on here. So I installed the Chrome app on here, where you could then potentially browse the internet. I don't feel like there's a huge need for that, and this thing does not have its own internet connection, so you'd have to have a Wi-Fi connection, hotspot, or maybe you could get a Starlink Mini and use it in motion. That's just barely a new thing that's coming out right now, and that would be something you could potentially use that for. But let's just be clear, this is a small little 8-inch tablet that is mounted in the car. Most people would have a laptop or a larger tablet that they hold in their lap that they would be using for internet browsing in general. Then you have YouTube here. What is nice about YouTube, you can click on this U icon right here, and then right here you can see it says downloads. So I'm going to tap downloads, and this is a video that I made a couple of years ago, I guess 4 years ago now, surprisingly. You can have the videos pre-downloaded, and then here I can tap on it, and then without being connected to the internet, I can then pull up this video that I've previously downloaded on YouTube and watch it without being connected to Wi-Fi currently. 4 years ago. It's really fun to see the kids that much younger. All right, so I'm gonna hop back out of this. And then to go along with YouTube Premium, it has YouTube Music, so you could be listening to music here. Once again, potentially use Wi-Fi. This is a block puzzle game that I downloaded just to give the kids an example of a game, and they actually quite like this game. It's like Tetris, but it's more horizontal based instead of vertical. Over here it has this BT transmitter app, and this is what the support people had said to use to toggle Bluetooth on or off. I haven't found that I actually need it. Plex is one that I installed off of the Android Play Store. We use Plex in our house, and it's cool to be able to install it here. And then I have Plex Premium, so I can download local episodes of Plex to the local storage here on the device. And then over here you have this main menu icon that you can tap on and then go to downloads on device, and then it will show you all of the videos or movies that you've downloaded. In this case, I've downloaded this movie Batteries Not Included, which is this classic from the 80s. And so you can tap on that play icon right here, and it'll just start to play it from the local storage rather than needing an internet connection in order to just stream it from your house. So far in my experience, playing videos through the YouTube app is actually the best experience-wise. Some of the other apps get really laggy, and this one's not as bad, but still on most of them, the scroll bar is kind of hard to get on just right, and you kind of have to tap slightly above where you're trying to tap, and then it will work correctly. I hope this has been helpful to see how to install this screen, which I would rate as moderately difficult. Depending on what features you're interested in, this may be a great addition to your Tesla. If you're interested in picking up one of these for yourself, use the discount code ETA for 20% off anything in the Hansshow store. With that, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.